Hey book besties and cozy cousins, it's me, Amma B, and I'm back at it again. And you can tell by the title we are talking about some of my favorite books from 2025. I'm gonna warn you right now, I only have 4 of these in my possession. The rest of them will appear up on the screen because a lot of them I read on my handy dandy Kindle, which you guys know that I absolutely love. If you guys want to see the video of how I customize my Kindle, make sure that you click right above. Now we're gonna get right into it because 2 of these physical copies I've actually bought within the last week. If you don't know that at the end of the year, a lot of bookstores have big sales so that they can clear off their shelves for the upcoming year and the new releases coming into the new year. 2 of these, funny enough, by the same author, I got for sale at Books A Million and, well, Barnes & Noble. One of them is a physical ARC and the other one I actually got signed by the author. So there's going to be some funny stories mixed into this. I have my handy dandy iPad. I'm going to try to keep these in order. And yeah, we're just going to jump right in. Some of these, I think only 2 have the same author. If you're new here, make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below and hit the bell notification so you're notified every single time I post a new upload. I talk mostly about book content, but in this new year, I'm going to be talking about a whole new subject and showing a little bit more of my life, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. I want to also say thank you to all of you that have come to the channel in 2025. You are so appreciated. I'm looking to grow our community even more and interact more. So make sure you leave me a comment down below if you remember how you came across me, some of your favorite content that I do. I would love to hear about it. Okay, so we're going to start off strong. A lot of these on my list are actually ARCs that I had the pleasure of being able to read. So the very first is by Kimberly Lemming, who, if you've spent any amount of time on this channel, know that I absolutely love. She primarily writes Black paranormal romance and like feudal era. It's usually got a little bit of rom-com. It's very raunchy and very well written. This one is I got abducted by aliens and now I'm trapped in a rom-com. First of all, the cover is so freaking cute. It follows the main character Dorothy as she is transported into an alien planet right in the moments where she was about to die by hands of a lion. Her and the lion get transported into this alien ship. She escapes, ends up on this alien planet, and it turns out that she is in a mating program run by an alien race of like observing owls. It's very interesting, but she ends up having not 1 but 2 love interests that are both mated to her. It is quite a calamity of smut, sci-fi, and adventure, and it is so good. I mean, some of the most outrageous things like hot pink T-Rexes and talking lions and alienoid boyfriends. I mean, who can miss? I gave this 5 stars. This is actually how I started off the year. I read this at the beginning of December of 2024 and read it into January 2025. So it was my first 5-star of the year. It was also my first read of the year. Kimberly Lemming is always going to get 5 stars from me because it's always a wild ride and it's always just undeniably like, she's that girl. The next one is actually an ARC that I got. It is the 3rd in a Kennedy Ryan series. This is the 3rd and final installment of the Skyland series. These are the only books that I have read by Kennedy Ryan, but when I tell you this is 5 stars for like 5 million different reasons. Number 1, Kennedy Ryan undeniably is that girl. When it comes to contemporary romance, especially contemporary romance, women of a certain age, it's giving Atlanta, it's giving the South. It's just so many beautiful things. The other thing, our main character Hendrix is the perpetual wrench auntie. She is childless by choice. She is so fabulous, so hot girl, so successful. And what I love so much about her is that she's a creative entrepreneur and a thriving creative entrepreneur. I think so often we see the trope of the artistic woman, a struggling artist or somebody who just struck gold because they are who they are. No, Hendrix is who she is, but she struck gold because she works so hard and it is so amazing, but it doesn't harden her. She's still very soft. The other wonderful thing about this is that she is opposite a billionaire. Yeah, girl. But also she is a tall, thick, brown skinned queen, and I was just like, girl, it's me. I mean, I'm married and I got a kid now, but it's me, girl, it's me. Really, really love this book. Follows Hendrix as she is kind of reeling from her mother's illness. She was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and she thinks she's gonna have to kind of shut her business down and move back to, I believe, South Carolina with her mother. But the real point of tension is she really wants to get into television production. She kind of gets a chance to by meeting this, you know, friend of a friend, and lo and behold, her very public ex-boyfriend, the friend of a friend, is who becomes opposite of Hendrix. He falls for her first. It is a billionaire romance. It is blackity black. It is so good. And seeing how she is constantly conflicted with, you know, how much her career dominates her choices versus her following her heart. It is so well written, and there are some really interesting discussions in here about power, love, choices that we make for our loved ones, and so much more. I absolutely love this. If I couldn't love her anymore, her name is Hendrix, which already gives. It just gives. I mean, even with the afro, girl, I know what you did. This is definitely giving Jimmy energy. But what I really love is that his name is Maverick. Maverick and Hendrix, y'all go together real bad. So anyways, he's also like super cool, like nerdy black surfer. Again, working very hard, innovative thinker. So great. This is the longest of the 3 books, I'm not gonna lie, but this is probably still my favorite. Well, there will always be a part in my heart for Before I Let Go, because it helped unlock something in me that I think I was carrying that I didn't quite know. But this was such a great finale to an amazing series. I highly recommend you check out all of the Skyland series, but specifically, can't get enough is that I do not have the physical copy of this, but we have Blood Debts by T.J. Benton-Walker. Now, couple things. We are dealing in YA, which I am a very big fan of. You're going to notice a lot of my darker fiction, fantasy, especially if it is blacky black, is usually YA. But that is not always the case. Sometimes it is smutty paranormal romance. It's literally one or the other. No smut YA that's super dark and cute, super duper smutty paranormal romance. There is no in between for me. The in between to me is boring. I really enjoyed this. It follows a set of twins that are trying to unravel some of the secrets connected to their family's legacy that has been lost before they were born. They were born into a magical family that was a part of leadership in New Orleans, one of the magical branches in New Orleans that was lost with the death of their grandmother and grandfather in a gruesome and very public execution. And slowly but surely, they not only unraveled the conspiracy that unseated their family, but also several other, not only, you know, breaking generational curses, but unlocking some of the guilt that comes with grief. And it's so good. There are minor gods, there's magic, there is New Orleans. I mean, girl, you're not gonna miss. It is so good. Now, the second one is Blood Justice, and not too crazy about that one. I've been trying to get into that one. I think I need to read it like on my e-reader or listen to it on audiobook. But that first one definitely got 5 stars from me. Definitely made a fan out of me as well. Yes, squirrel. Up next is another very good beginning to a duology. Didn't really get into the second part, but this author will also be seen later on in the list. So, and again, I'm trying to stay in order, so charge it to my head, not my heart. That is Blood Trials by N.E. Davenport. Now, N.E. Davenport recently had a loss in her family, like a significant loss. Her husband suddenly passed away right after the debut of a book that we're going to talk about a little bit later. So I just want to hold space for that. That is a horrible occurrence to have something both so amazing happening in your life while something so gut-wrenching and forever changing happens. So I want to acknowledge that and send love to her and her family. I'm not sure if she'll see this, but I just want her to let her know that her words touched me and affected me, and to find out that her family is grieving and hurting in any way, you know, I wanted to send my love. So just saying that. But the very first in the Blood Trials duology is literally called the Blood Trials. It is a deadly game, high stakes warrior princess vibes, you know what I'm saying? So it follows Akinna. Okay, Akinna is reeling from the death of her grandfather that she finds out was actually a murder. She has been in an academy to be a part of essentially like the military force of this kind of dystopian government that is opposed to the Blood Emperor, who, okay, it's a lot of world building, so just walk with me here, who is opposite the Blood Emperor, essentially is the native and in her city of Marine, or country of Marine, they are very racist, not very into the people of color or the ethnic group that falls under the Blood Emperor. They're not too keen on them. But her grandfather was like a big war hero. She finds out that he's murdered, and she was at first going to graduate from the academy and just get like a desk job and just be like, whatever, I did it, done. But she decides to go through what are called the Blood Trials, which are these deadly competition which essentially weed out those who are going to take like the highest level in the military force, which are called Praetorians. It's Praetorian training. Lots of people die. Very much Hunger Games, but actually you get something out of it instead of just your life. And while she's doing this, she's trying to figure out and get closer to the people that were in her grandfather's like company, those that had the possibility to be able to kill him. It is very good. The world building is definitely why you're clocking into this. I'm just going to let you know right off the top, it is not character run. These are characters that you could like. I don't recommend liking them. And it's no shade. I don't think they're bad characters. I don't think they're poorly developed. But the world building is so amazing. Just the sheer amount of countries and cultures that we interact with, absolutely amazing. Second one, not really my favorite. Can't lie to you. I did read these via audiobook using my Libby app. So shout out to the library. If you haven't signed up to be a part of Libby, I don't know what's going on with you, but go ahead and do that down below. There is a link in the description, as well as all of the books that I'm going to be talking about will be linked down in the description box. And as you guys know, because I am sensitive to people's consumer habits, there is an Amazon and non-Amazon link. No judgment, you know, no judgment from me. I can't lie, the narrator of the audiobook is definitely what gave it. Like, she was giving accent, she was giving action. It was amazing. It was so immersive, it was so well done, and I really loved it. But it also made me interested in some of Annie Davenport's other writing. She also writes under Nia Davenport, so if you've seen either one, it's still her. Now this is YA, but it is a bit spicy. It's like older YA, think like 17 to 21 YA. So there is a little bit of smut, just a bit. But overall, just a wild ride. Really well done. Now I'm going to talk about these next three together because they're all a part of the same series, which in total I believe has 6 books. I've only read the 3, which are Katee Robert's A Deal with the Demon series. I've read 1, 2, and 3. The first is The Dragon's Bride, which still just reigns supreme. It is the best one to me. And I think it's because it's just like the introduction of a particular world usually is how you become close to it. And I definitely felt that. These are all super easy reads. They're super quick and they are smutty as all hell. You can probably read multiple of these in a day. I think it took me about a day to read each one of them. When I got to the 4th one, I was kind of out of it. It was like they follow a similar recipe, but definitely amazing palate cleanser books. Katee Robert is a wonderful writer, especially when it comes to paranormal monster romance, because we are definitely talking like non-human. These are not even really humanoids. Like, these are creatures. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is for the girls that already know they like the creature stuff. This is not like how you dip your toe into creatures. You know what I'm saying? If you're dipping your toe into paranormal romance, I would definitely recommend more like a Kimberly Lemming Mead Mishaps. I would even recommend maybe some vampire werewolf action, like a little bit more humanoid. This is for the big dogs. You know what I'm saying? This is definitely, once you know you like paranormal romance and you're teetering into the monster. You know what I'm saying? So this is definitely that girl. So that's The Dragon's Bride, The Kraken's Sacrifice, and The Gargoyle's Captive. All three of them deal with what are they called? Bargain demons or something like that, who offer 7 years of servitude, but really you just live in the demon world and you're open to the possibility of this particular demon, whoever you become the bride of. You do have to be married. Some people don't care about the marriage thing, but give them the opportunity to be able to woo you when you come back to the human world. If you come back to the human world, if you so choose, it will be like no time has passed. So it'll be 7 years from your life that you never really lose. So I mean, hey, somebody got to do it. You know what I'm saying? But each one of them is usually in some sort of precarious, horrible position. They need the 7 years in order to exchange for something. Like, one of them is in an abusive marriage and the husband is, another one is in debt. Another one like is just tired of being like the least favorite in her family. So it's just, you know, they're kind of preying on people, but also kind of like, hey girl, if it works for you, you know. Anyways, I'm currently reading the fourth one. The fifth one. I skipped the fourth one, just couldn't really get into the succubi situation. I believe the fourth one is called A Succubus's Prize. Just not really my bag, you know what I mean? I do enjoy sapphic. I don't know if I enjoy sapphic paranormal romance. That just might be for me, you know what I mean? I don't know. But anywho, staying on track, we have another book here called, funny enough, I believe I skipped one, but this is the first of the Liselle Sambury horror books that are in the like top 5-ish. This is Delicious Monsters. This is set in northern Canada or northern Ontario. The main character moves into a home that has been given to her mother by way of like a deed. Her mother grew up in this house, but there's like a sordid history with this house. Not only is it haunted, but it also is in some ways sentient. The main character, Daisy, can see dead people. She meets another guy whose family is like practicing. They're practicing crafts. I think they're psychic or something along those lines. It's a wild ride. I can't lie to you, but it is so well written that you're just like, whoa, we are zipping and zapping. The house itself has a very interesting, it's a character itself in this, which I really enjoyed. It does start slow, but if you hang on, you are going to be on a wild ride. I cannot lie, there are some trigger warnings with this. I probably should go back and double check if there are trigger warnings to be anywhere else. If there are, I'll try to put them in the description along with the book. But there are some, you know, just assault, childhood assault kind of things, just to watch out for. So, okay. Sorry, my husband, y'all. I made him a good dinner, so I don't even know why he up here. You need to go downstairs and eat. Anyway, highly recommend that. Such a good story. It has so many layers. It is one of the ones that like you should probably take your time and read. It does switch POVs a couple of times. It's not very quickly, but very interesting. The next one is yet another arc that I got. This is actually another Liselle Sambury that came out and debuted this year. This is called A Mastery of Monsters. I think this is my favorite read of the year. Now, I will be honest with you. Liselle Sambury, she likes a hefty book. You know what I'm saying? She likes a hefty book. This is not the girl This is not a 300 pager. You know what I'm saying? This is not even 400 pages. These are closer to 600 pages. So that's something to keep in mind. Another one of her books was one of my top reads of last year. That was Tender Beast, that I'll post up here on the screen. But here, A Mastery of Monsters is literally a combination of too many things that I like. Dark academia, secret societies, deadly competition, monsters. Yes, girl. Not to mention, there's just like decades and decades and decades of like possibilities for this. I absolutely love this. This follows the main character. Oh, I forgot my girl's name. August and Virgil. First of all, really loved August. Liselle Sambury doesn't always write a character that I like, which is why I like reading her books, because she builds these amazing worlds with these characters that you just want to like, but you don't quite. This is a character that I liked. I understood August inside and out. Her whole thing is her mother went missing a year ago, and she was basically following all the orders of, you know, being the perfect daughter till her mother goes missing. Her brother is probably a year or two older than her. He ends up going to the prestigious university that she was set to go to, but she kind of just all lets it flow up away from her. She meets this really cool guy named Virgil. Turns out that he is a part of a secret society but not initiated. He needs a partner to be able to become initiated, and in order for August to be his partner, she has to prove to the society that she can become a master of monsters. Literally, she has to get into prime physical, mental, emotional state so that she can bond to a monster and be able to help them through the trials. It is a deadly trial secret society, and there are some like moral, ethical things in this that I thought were very, very interesting. The ending is sad, but I'm looking so forward, because I believe this is going to be a series. I'm looking so forward to meeting these characters again. I loved August. I love Virgil. I don't even want to spoil it, but like they together are just chef's kiss. Loved it. Anywho, but definitely highly recommend. This is my absolute favorite book of this year. This was an amazing book to read, and I mean, again, these two, oh my god. This one I got from Barnes during their 50% off hardcover sale, and this one I got from Books to Million for their like pink dot sale. I think they were trying to get rid of these. There were like 3 or 4 of them. So this was $6, this was 12. I think I killed it. You know what I mean? 3 more books and then we're whacked. The next book is A Soul to Keep. It is part of the Dustwalker's Bride series. This is very hard for me to try to explain, so work with me a little bit here. The main character is like super hated by her village. Her entire family was killed by demons. This is a world where humans live in fear of demons. As a result of her family, all of her family being killed except for her, the village treats her as a social pariah. They promise her to this entity called the Dustwalker, and she becomes the Dustwalker's bride. They go together to the demon world. In exchange for her becoming the bride, the village will forever be like, will have this like protection over it or whatever. She is like trying to learn how to navigate, you know, living in this world that is completely different from her own. She's so happy to be leaving her village, but she's not quite sure how living with this non-human creature will go. But when I tell you, it goes, girl. This is another super long one, and it is not super smutty, but it is monster romance. This is, again, not for the girls that are just dipping their toe into paranormal romance. I would definitely be like, you need to love paranormal romance to get into this, because these are like entities of darkness with skull heads. You know what I mean? Like, you might want to just dust up before you get there. But I will not lie, the love story in this is just so heartwarming. So I highly recommend it, especially to the girls that already know they love demon and monster smut. Excuse me. This next one, Mastery of Monsters, is my favorite non-romantic book. Our Vicious Oaths, my favorite paranormal romance book ever. This is also written by Davenport. This is a fairy, black fae enemies to lovers. Like when I say enemies, proper enemies, like I killed your daddy enemies, you know what I'm saying, to lovers. Where do I start? I mean, where do I start? The world, the characters, the tension, the arrogance, girl. And if you like a little bit of political drama, this is definitely the girl for you. And you know what? It just further confirmed that if I ever was in a situation where I needed to run a small country of people, I could do it. Because I was making choices left and right while things were arising. And I was just like, I would be doing this, girl. Not to mention, just because they're enemies don't mean they ain't hunching. It's a lot of touching. Oh, they're touching. Can I let you know they're touching? And it's phenomenal. Phenomenal, girl. I don't want to spoil none of it. But we follow our main character, Khadijah, who's reeling. I don't even want to tell you none of that. Look it up. Look it up. 5 stars. 5 stars. I knew from the second chapter, this was going to be a 5-star read. And I was not wrong. I was not mistaken. If it could have been a 10-star read, it would have been. It was phenomenal. That one, this last and final one, is actually a physical arc that I got. Thank you, Page YA, for this. This is Blood Moon by Brittany S. Lewis. If you've heard anything about this book, girl, get into it. This is like Black Twilight, Black Vampire Diaries. It is like the retribution for years and years and years of loving, for millennials loving, Black millennials loving paranormal romance and not seeing ourselves represented. This is small town in the Midwest, dark academia, vampires, hybrids, witches, werewolves, girl, rival tribes of werewolves, girl. Y'all not ready for this. It is so well done. Enemies to lovers, love triangle. This is for all of the Black millennials that love paranormal romance and were not represented nearly enough. This follows Mirabella as she navigates her freshman year of college. It marks like 10 years since her mother basically disappeared with nothing, not even a note. It turns out she randomly gets accepted into a local college. Her small town is known for its legends of vampires and werewolves, and it turns out all the legends are real, girl, and she is in the smack dab middle of it. And y'all not ready for how this twists and turns. I read a good half of this when I first got it, and I was like, oh, this is really good, this is great. Finished it recently and was like, oh, I didn't give this the chance that it deserves. So again, another 5 stars. This is also going to be a part of a series, so I'm really looking forward to it. And funny enough, I have 2 other books by Brittany S. Lewis that I kind of soft DNF, not because I wasn't interested, but I just couldn't really get into them. And I was like, oh, this is for another time. Girl, I did not have that problem at all with Blood Moon. Does start slow. Let me just caution you with that. It does start slow, but once it picks up, girl, it picks up. Right, so I'm very much looking forward to the second installment of that. I think this is going to be a trilogy, if not a little bit longer, but this is definitely going to be an amazing series. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this little list, and if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know down in the comments which book sounds most like it's up your alley. As you can see, I like a lot of romance, a lot of fantasy, a lot of romanticy, and a lot of horror. So, you know, if you like those things, make sure you guys come back and check in. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.